Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off in dotAge. We're now officially in summer. So let's go into the tech tree. We did just finish up the barbecue. We could move into the Hunter's Lodge, although you might notice we don't have stone production yet. And the Hunter's Lodge is definitely a massive upgrade of the Hunting Tent. Hunting Tent is 3 turns to get 3 raw meat. The Hunter's Lodge is 1 turn to get 3. Requires a specialist worker, so it's 3 times as good at the cost of a specialist worker, but that's not too bad. Of course, that means we're going to need access to stone, and we'll probably want to start working on construction stuff upgrades anyway. So let's pick up clearing. Clearing doesn't cost anything to build. It's also a prerequisite for some of the upgraded buildings, like the wood stack, and we'll start working through sort of construction-related effects here. We're now in summer. How many charges of berries do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we got about 70 charges of berries. That means if the summer is about 30 days long, we need 2... let's say 3 workers. We actually need 3 workers to get the maximum berries harvested. It'll be a little bit under 3, but 3-ish workers. So I might actually leave the 3 workers on berry production just so we can get all the berries harvested before the summer ends. Because again, when the summer ends, they're gone. So there's no point in leaving them unharvested, other than the fact that it's eating worker turns that we'd rather use for something else. So we've got the heat concern under control for the moment. So it's really what do we want to do with this last worker? We got 1 hunting, we got 1 building a hunter. Maybe you should actually build a barbecue, thinking about it. Yeah, let's get a barbecue built. So you can see here, placement's very valuable, right? We could place this anywhere, right? One food becomes 2. Not very good. If we can place it, so we get all the sort of adjacency bonuses, the neighborhood bonuses, we get 1 becomes 7. That's real good. That's what we want. So there will work. So we research clearing. Obviously, one of the follow-up texts from clearing is, oh, maybe it's an automatic thing. We can now remove clearing if we wanted to, for whatever reason. I'm not going to rush straight to stone gather. I think we need more wood production, so I'm going to go wood stack. So we're going to wood stack into stone gather into the tools, which is actually what we need to unlock further deeper into the tree anyway. And maybe don't need to generate that cold this turn. So we'll generate some water so we can make sure the pond is working. Our pond is twice as efficient as it needs to be, so we only need to run like every other turn going forward. So I could start grilling some meat right away, but we've got another house I would like to get the workers that we can get out of the house. So let's put those 2 workers, the one on the grill and the spare one we had, to making a person. We'll make cold so we can keep a 100% chance of getting the good event instead of the bad event. We're 2 turns out from getting the wood stack upgrade. How do I feel about upgrading the research? So it's going to be like 5 more wood. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So it's going to slow our research down, but we're going to get more research. So short-term cost, a long-term benefit. Oh, and we have no one working on the tomato farms. You know, that isn't a concern. I'm not too worried about that. Once we're done making that pip, we'll have 2 free pips. I'll put 1 on farming, 1 on replanting. There we go. That'll be upgraded in a turn. I probably have enough wood that I can actually do the same to the other one. Yeah. That obviously means we're not making any science this turn. Although it'll be, when they're both complete, it'll be 50% more science, so that'll pay itself back pretty quickly. It's basically going to cost us 2 turns of science, and we make 50% more science, so it'll pays us back in 4 turns. We've got a free worker. We need you on... No, for this turn we don't need you on heat anymore. Let's make water and seeds so we can plant more fields if we need to plant more fields. And you are 3 turns out. And our get event is what? Extra science. Okay, so we're gonna have 8 more knowledge than we needed for research for the turn. That's fine. And we've researched wood stack. So that's gonna accelerate us getting into stone gatherer quicker. Let's go ahead and start upgrading one of our wood gatherers. Which, of course, costs us wood, lowers our wood production. Again, it's one of those things where it'll pay us back pretty quickly, but it is obviously costing us in the short run. You know, let's get enough cold. We're probably not gonna... Well, we're not gonna need it until at least after the Doom event. So the Doom event is the next... The next thing is the Doom. The Doom is coming. So we're gonna have another free pip in 2 turns. And then if I steal that one, another one, we can go ahead and artwork this building. I probably should actually just nick one of the hunters. Let's nick one of the hunters and build the building I'm thinking of first. So we're gonna get the shared table built. Needs to be within a dwelling of 2, and +2 if within 2 of a social building. So this will provide 5 hope instead of 2 hope for the same number of workers. You can see the clearing has been made there. The process of upgrading the wood pile to the wood stock is you pave it, or you clear it, and then you upgrade it. So it'll be done in 2 turns. Okay, next thing we do is the workbench. We are doing pretty good science here, so we're going to roll through the early tech tree here pretty quickly. probably don't need it upgraded yet. We'll start also upgrading the upgrade process on the other wood gatherer. Oh, I can't afford it. Never mind, we're not doing it. We'll just continue gathering wood for the moment. Yeah, we're gonna have enough cold. I can take the person off cold if I remember. I think the Doom event's about to start up. Yes. Beware, a Doom event is coming soon. Prepare for it may be the end of the village. The first one is usually not the end of the village, but... Doom event arrives in 8 days. We can influence its outcome. Event level depends upon the accumulated fear. We're making 3 fear a day. So obviously we want to be working that building. This building consumes 1 water, 1 food, and produces 5 hope. So we're gonna outproduce it. So we're not really that concerned about it. You're gonna probably want some water production. That'll be upgraded next turn. I think I have enough. No, because it's 5, isn't it? Yeah, no. Yeah, so we can't upgrade it because I need 1 more wood. It's saying I can because in theory we have 5 at the end of the turn right now, but if I'm upgrading the thing, then I don't have the 5 because we only have 4 because we're not making the 2. Math. Yeah, making plenty of food. We're stockpiling chicken meat slowly. We're actually getting pretty close to the food stockpile limits on some of our foods, which is in some ways good. Let's cycle the turn. We'll move a little bit closer to the Doom, get some more research done, get the improved lumber gatherer going. So there's our workbench. Now if we pocket into the tree here, this will unlock more of the tree. We're going to get a bunch of memories, because it's going to be the first time seeing much of this stuff as we pop between the bits of the tree. The Great Barbecue, which is obviously the upgrade of the barbecue. So instead of 2 to some number, it's 2 to an even bigger number, or instead of 1 to some number, it's 2 to a bigger number. We actually aren't upgrading, unlocking anything in the cultivation tree. So here's why I picked the spot where we got good surround on lumber. So the tier 3 here for our woodcutter is the woodcutter's hut. It requires woods within 1 tile, and it gets +2 for every woods within 1 tile. So it's 3, which is less than the wood stack, although it gets +2 per neighboring woods. So if you've got only 1 neighbor, it's 5. That's okay. That's better than wood stack. And that's the minimum, right? You need at least 1 because you can't build otherwise. But in our case, we've got 1 place where it's up to 3 next door. So that's actually going to be 9. That's going to be real good lumber returns. And then we got a bunch of other buildings we could pick up as well. We'll start working on the woodcutters because, again, a lot of the stuff we're going to be building is made out of wood. So if we can minimize the number of people working on wood, that will be useful. Although, you'll note the wood stack doesn't require a worker specialist. The woodcutter does, and is a specialist that requires tools. So we're going to have to get the workshop going before we can get the woodcutter going. Same sort of thing, the mason. Extra stone if you got more stone nearby. But requires tools. So there, much more wood production. I think we got enough seeds. Let's take you off for a moment and get that planted. So we're not running out of food at any point. Okay, so we do need 5 to keep it at 100%. I'm going to go ahead and start upgrading that wood stack. We need the water production, obviously, if I'm taking some of the wood production offline, that's as it is. Would like to be able to free up 2 workers to start making another pop. But I don't got the spare workers right now. So let's end the turn. Cycle forward. At this rate, we're not worried about the next Doom event. We're planned for it. We're planned for it. It's going to be a casual success. But when we pass the first Doom event, the cycle ain't done. We've only just finished the first cycle, you see. Okay, so we freed up a worker from a different task. What other task did we free the worker from? Or did the pop just grow up, didn't it? That would make sense. Oh, and we finished planting. That's fair. We'll take the well worker. Take another person. Okay, so we're creeping up on the stockpile cap. So the stockpile cap is 40. We're net making 3 food spare, excluding the hunting. And the hunting's pretty far away from the cat. So not next turn, but the turn after that, we'll actually be making too much food to keep it all stockpiled. So we'll have to change something up with the gathering so we don't waste food. Or just accept that we're going to waste food. One of the two. And we got 2 free pips, so let's make some water. Because that's an upkeep for what we've got going on. And I suppose that's why it's an odd food income, or food consumption, because that's eating of food. I could probably actually save... Maybe. I'm not going to worry about that for the moment. I'll keep the extra production. Oh, I should get stone production going. So this first one doesn't really care how many neighbors it has. The upgraded one will, although the best place we're going to get is a neighbor of 2, so we'll take the easiest available neighbor of 2, which is that one. Or, well, the easiest we're going to get without carving into the rock stuff yet, which we can't do. Can't do yet. Spoilers. Spoilers for later the tech tree. So that'll be upgraded in turn, so we'll have extra wood. That'll be good. Then we're going to need to get the toolmaker going. And presumably finding someone to work the toolmaker. Okay, let's cycle the turn. Did my food not math right there? No, it mathed right. Okay, so we're gonna waste 1 food this turn. I think wasting 1 food is acceptable. I'm not sure where we got a pip from. What task finished? Gave us a pip back. Oh, it didn't auto-assign to the lumber maker. Fair enough. Actually, I'm gonna still pull that guy and send him to something else. Workbench requires woodmaker within 1. Okay. Because we're gonna need some tools soon. Anyway, right now we're wasting 1 food. We cycle how we are. That would actually make it was 2 food. No. Yeah, that would make us waste 2. We'll waste 1, and then we'll probably move him to there. And we'll take someone off of making berries. I think what we'll do. And probably put that berry maker on barbecuing. So this turn we're going to waste 3. 3's maybe pushing it, so we're going to pull worker off berries. Now that technically means we're 1 food short. Oh, that means we're exactly 1 food short. So we do that, now we're not food short. Let's start stockpiling some cooked chicken. So this costs us 1 raw white meat every turn. It makes us 7 cooked white meat every turn. That's a pretty good trade. And then that way we can fill up the cooked raw, or the cooked white meat over, what? It's 7 turns? 7 turns in 35. So in 8 turns, we'll have that meat stockpile filled up as well, allowing us to store more food for hard turns when we need to take people off of food production to do other things, to deal with doom events. Prepare for the worst, and then when that worst comes, you'll be prepared, is usually the way I deal with these problems. Tooling? Yeah, so the woodcutter's hut, you need a tool to train someone to do that. We're going to want someone to plant the field. Oh, and I need someone to work on you. So I'm not that desperate for the stone right now. We'll be wanting the stone, but we're not desperate for it. Yeah, because the woodcutter's hut doesn't require it. We mainly need the stone to upgrade the stonemason, which is something we're going to want to do. Because a lot of the buildings now are going to want stone going forward. Construction-wise. And at some point, for more people, we're going to upgrade the houses, which is going to cost... Well, actually, the hut doesn't cost, but the village hall does. So yeah, we're going to want stone. I could probably get away without doing the upgrade for stone. Delay that a little bit more. Metal's a little bit away, so we're not going to worry about the metal. Copper's a little bit away. Yeah, let's get the stone upgrade. I don't need it yet, but it'll be nice to have early. Next turn we'll have extra pip. Next turn that person will be done, so we'll actually have 2 free pips for various tasks. I see we have been cursed, an omen is coming for us. Something bad is going to happen. He said, oh, there's an omen that's also coming for us after the Doom event. So, you can sort of get a hint that the next cycle is coming. The next cycle having its own set of omens and unknown events and dooms. And we are ready for this upcoming Doom event, so let's see how good it will be for us. It's probably going to be a minor good event because I'm not overspending on protection. Memories unlock. We now unlock memories by playing. So we got 10 points towards unlocking a memory. And we got a boon, because we got the good event. And it's going to let us choose. We can choose between the Surge of Knowledge, gain 30 knowledge points. Probably don't need that. 30 pips are welcomed. Or, not 30. 3 pips are welcome. Don't get the housing for them. All buildings have 2 more hit points. So toss up between Surge of Knowledge and Strongwood. I'm going to go Strongwood. Having a little bit extra hit points on buildings can actually be surprisingly useful. It's not very strong, but the first couple bonus hit points is very valuable in buildings. If that were to pop up again in the run, we probably wouldn't take it a second time. Because that stops like random omens from destroying buildings, basically. We fought the doom brought upon us, but I sense that this is not the end. I see it now. New and stronger challenges are coming. The prophecy clear in my mind. Let me tell you what fate has in store for us. This is it. We must strive to reach the next Doom event. Remember, this will not be the last. So, we'll pop back into there in a moment. Doom hopefully averted. So let's pop into the prophecy. So this is the next cycle. So that was the old first cycle that we just left. We're going to cycle 2. They're obviously going to get harder as time goes on. And at a certain point, it will actually just give us a prediction on what the rest of the cycles are, or at least how many cycles are left. So we're in cycle 2. You can see fear and heat are still a thing, and there is going to be a new 3rd domain. And this, I believe, is the disease domain. So we'll have to start providing some health care in the village, let's say. That will come in 21 days, 11 days. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with the Omen and another Hope event. We've already sort of got that handled. We're not too worried about that. The Doom in this next cycle will be weather-related, so it's gonna get hot, is basically what it's implying. Oh, actually, this is gonna be in autumn, so this will be cold. It's gonna get cold. We're gonna have an untimely early frost, basically. So we're gonna have to keep everyone warm, and if we do that, then we'll get a good event there instead of a bad event. So we got an omen. There'll be two more cold events. Or no, one last warmth event. So we're only going to use the puddle one more time in like 10 days. And then it will be autumn, and we'll have to keep everyone warm. So we'll have to invest pretty much in, or we'll have to invest in a lot of heating stuff after we deal with the disease. Maybe even before we deal with the disease. Still got plenty of food production. We do want to generate more hope. At least for 2 turns. For 2 turns, I think we want to generate hope, and then we might want to pull those guys off. So to work on other stuff. Why don't I have any make tools? Oh, you need to be trained to be make tool player. Learn to make tools. Because I'm going to need those. It's going to take you 1 to learn, 3 to make. How long does it take to upgrade that building? Looks like 2 turns. So it's a little bit early to upgrade that building. I want him to already be working on the tools before we do that transition. Oh. And we can interact with the memories here. So this is sort of the meta progression between runs. You unlock various memories that do various things. So we have 4 points. We can unlock the first thing here. In fact, we have 10 points. It costs us 4. So we've unlocked mini events. So there'll be a selection of 19 new minor events that may occur. Not all of them are good. Not all of them are bad. And we have another 6 points. So I can either pick up healthy or happiness. We'll pick up healthy. which unlocks the trait healthy, and one event that presumably gives us healthy, instead of happiness, which is going to be happiness time. That'll probably be what we pick up next. What am I spending for wood on? The tools. That eats 3 wood. That eats 1 wood. Okay. So we're gonna have tools in 3. I think it's still a little early to get that upgraded. We'll start the upgrading anyway. We can always swap them over to the other one in the meantime. Yeah, it's 1 turn early, so we'll put them over here 1 turn while we're waiting for the tools for him to train up on tool working. Okay, I think we got enough hope for the moment. We take the person off of there. Wait you on wood. And I'll actually put the other one on the other hunter. Get a little more white meat coming in sooner. And we're a little ahead on white meat, cooked white meat production. So this is probably the last turn we're going to make cooked white meat for the moment. And then we'll free this worker up. And we'll let the white meat, the raw white meat stockpile up because we've filled up the stockpile on the cooked stuff. Obviously, the point of the cooked stuff is when the berries run out at the end of summer, they will all be gone at the end of summer. From a production standpoint, we won't be able to make any more. We need something to take up the slack of that -8 that we're currently consuming with berries, which is going to be the barbecue at this point. But having the stockpile pre-filled buys us a little bit of extra slack construction-wise or production-wise. There's the stonemason's hut. Where did you come off of? Yeah, you came off of the upgrading lumber camp. That's fair. So we worked that lumber camp. I want to plant that field. Got 1 spare worker. Do you want the workshop? If I'm wanting tools to be made quickly, probably yes. Although there's maybe an argument to coming into education, getting the upgraded health facilities. Yeah, let's get the health coming in quicker. So let's upgrade the stonemaker. Of course, beats stone. Let's build another forager. This one we're going to leave on hemp, because you can see the remedy rug here wants to be within 2 of a hemp maker and 2 of a dwelling, which I can conveniently put right here, and that'll work nicely. I might not actually harvest any hemp from that. Well, we'll want some hemp because the building needs some. Yeah. We're not desperate to harvest a bunch. Because I think it's actually going to be, we need to keep everything cold first. strategy games like this are sometimes like juggling. You got to keep multiple things in the air that you want to be prepared for. Because if you wait to the last moment, it's a little bit late to deal with some of the stuff. So there's the remedy ring, or remedy rug, not ring. Healer, pharmacist, and healer's hut. And that's obviously just a straight up upgrade to the remedy rug. Okay, and this isn't usable until autumn anyway, so it's still too early to pick you up. There's maybe an argument to pick up the healer hut early. Partially because we already have all the requirements for it, and plus 4 health instead of plus 2 health is useful. So we're afraid of the guy picking. Yeah, let's get the health building built, even though we don't need it yet. We're gonna get our omen. The omen could be anywhere between very vicious and very harmless. And we are gonna go ahead and train a person to be a lumberjack, so we can get a really good lumber spot going. I think training to be a lumberjack only takes a turn. It requires a tool, but it takes a turn. So here's the Omen event. Distressed. Superstitious. Is distressed. Hardship of life can take their toll on some pips. Let's not get started with the thoughts of afterlife. Worried pips need to be reassured they will be well, even if they probably won't be. I see an unknown event coming upon us. The vision is confusing, but there is hope. We can fight it. And this is the sickness domain activates, and we need to keep the world cool. And of course, the pop that is distressed is the one we were training to, you know, be the lumberjack. Are they actually... I think they can still work while distressed. Yes, they're still working while distressed. Just it gives us fear. So they're getting 1 fear a turn, so we're going to need to actually suppress that by other means. Lest we want that to get out of control. We can pull back from the hunting a little bit, I suppose, for the moment. Okay, so the warmth isn't a problem. We can the 1 pond. In fact, we only need the pond working half time. Yeah, we only need the pond working half time. We got one of the wells working, so we're good at the wells. We're going to be working towards dealing with distressed. Although I'm not sure if we have a distressed treatment location. I think that would actually be... That might have actually been it there. No, that's it. Okay, so I need to get the relaxation station going. So I want to get rid of distressed. So we're not having to have 2 people making hope every turn. Well, every other turn. So we'll bank up a little bit of hope, and then we'll take them off, and then we'll work on getting the relaxing station going. So that we can make an infusion, and then use the infusion to heal the distressed pip. Inefficiently, but do the solution there. Yeah. So we've got 6 turns before the health omen arrives. So I probably have time to not only... because we just finished the healing rug. Probably have time to just straight up upgrade that to the next tier. Although that will probably be overkill. I think we're having a minor event that provides health. Good wishes. They wish each other good health, and we gain some health from it. We've researched the healer's hut. We're going to want... Of course, the healer's hut has unlocked some more buildings. The apothecary and the healer's cottage in particular. We're going to pick up the relaxing station so we can treat our current problems. And I may actually work down and grab up a performer station as well. From a building perspective, right? This is making 5. This is going to make 6. So building slot per building slot, this is not much better. However, this only takes 1 worker. It takes a specialist worker that needs a tool to learn how to do that job, but 6 for 1 worker is better than 2 to 5. Also, no inputs, so really good. Okay, you'll be trained next turn, be making us lots of wood. No problem with the cold/hot event. I need someone to learn how to make stone. There we go. And again, I think I need every other turn on the cold, so we should have a reminder that we need to put someone on the cold next turn. And I'll probably have everything I need to set the relaxing station up. So I'll probably just take the 2 people off of Hope for the moment. There's the relaxing station. Work on the performer's stall. Take you 2 off. Well, make the relaxation station. Oh, I need someone on call. That's what I was thinking of. So with that done, we can start training someone to be a medicine man. With that done, that might actually just require a medicine man as well. Oh no, that doesn't even require a specialist pump. It just makes infusion, and or heals a pop with an infusion. Well, it heals 3. Heals up to 3. We only have 1 that has distress, so it'll be a little overkill. But okay, cycle it turn. And again, I think I'm going to run this part up until we have the season change. That's where we'll put the part break in. So that'll probably mean during the stream, because we're going to record 4 parts in the stream, we'll get through a whole year. Okay, so we got 2 free pips. One was working there, so we want you to start training on how to become a medicine person. We want someone... Oh, this requires a specialist as well. It's one of the more generic specialists. Watchers are. So we'll get someone trained to be a specialist there. That's the 2 free workers we have. So if I want to do any tasks, I need to move workers around. Although, we're back to the point where we can take you off, put you someplace else if we want to temporarily. Because we have to do every other turn on there. We're full on water, so we'll take the water guy off. Could probably do with more seeds. Could do more with more meat. Okay, that'll work. At some point, we'll have to put more on hope, but not in a rush to that. Oh, I should get someone to replant you. Oh, and we need more of you. Let's take you off and get you replanted. Because these are 3 season, right? So spring, summer, autumn. So they're not going to go away when we roll into autumn. Unlike the berries. The berries are going to be gone. How many berries do we have left? 5 charges there. 5 charges there. Okay, so we're going to start having to swap over to consuming something besides berries. Because the berries are going to run out soon. In fact, the berries are going to run out in... four turns. In 4 turns, we're gonna lose 4 of our berry production. Of course, we're actually a little bit food negative at the moment. But yeah, 4 turns, we're gonna run out of berry production, so we're gonna have to swap over to something else. What we'll do is we'll swap over and start using some of the white meat production. We'll basically get the grill or get the barbecue going. We're gonna see the heat omen, which will probably be the last heat omen. Until we get back around to spring. Or heat event, until we get back around to spring. We have enough filling up the pond, but this will not be a problem. No, it's decided to just gift us with another berry building. Berries overgrowth. 1 extra berry building in the town. So that actually buys us another 5 turns, I think, before we need to find alternative food source. Granted, we have the alternative food source, so that's not a problem. I see an unknown event becoming. The vision is confusion, but there is hope. We can fight it. And this is the hope-related one. Okay, so I need to find a few pips. We don't need the disease fighting right now. So that gets us 5, so we'll start recovering. But event level at most will be max, adverse event level at most be max. 1, okay. I take you off. Cure the distressed. That'll actually drop this from 4 to 3, and we'll be moving towards good event faster that way. Obviously, we're making no wood while that's going on. Yeah, everything else is fine, I think. So we cycle the turn. We get our health omen, which will probably be someone coming down with like a cold or something. Stunned. Okay. And symptomatic. Oh, got a really bad burp. burp so bad it has left you stunned for 3 days. Okay, so that interrupted the worker that was working there. We'll just put someone on the job anyway. We want our wood going again. That's technically all our spare workers because we've got a worker stunned. So that's improving pretty quickly. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll get far enough ahead of this at the current growth rate to get guaranteed good event. Obviously, I don't think we've got anything to remove stunned yet. We don't have to treat that disease, what that it treats, or those treat. And the thing we just did is distressed. So yeah, I don't think we got a way to treat stunned. So if he's stunned, he's stunned, he's stunned. There's nothing else we can really do about that. Oh, this is someone getting sick. Okay. Oh, no, this one's just having a minor event that's bonus nature. It's a meditation in the forest, after all. Introducing us to the Cataclysm domain. That will come up, but not this cycle. They usually slowly introduce you into everything. There's the Performer's Stall, which is going to be pretty work efficient for producing more hope. Although that's all the hope we can get for the moment. I'm going to start working into the bonfire line to keep people warm. Because when the season change comes up, we'll swap from cold being the enemy to cold being the protection to heat being the protection, as we swap from warm weather to cold weather. And for once, I'm far enough ahead on wood production. We're about to actually fill up the stockpile. You want to be within one of leisure and one of social. I maybe didn't make the best of choices where to put my buildings here. So that's my social building, and that's my leisure building right next to each other. Okay, we'll move the relaxing point is what we'll do. The relaxing point doesn't need to be there. So I can put you there. So that buffs it from 4 to 5. I can move you there, and that'll buff it to 6. That needs to be next to Hope Building. It doesn't need to be next to that Hope Building. Here we go. So we want that there. Obviously, we need to free up a worker to do that. We're gonna go over on the wood, so we'll put the wood on. That lets them invest the wood. Or we can do this way. You get on there. You get on there. Yeah, and then we take you off on the next turn because otherwise we'll have the wood cap on the next turn. There's the bonfire. And we're going to want the upgrade to the bonfire, which is the large bonfire. As far as the bonfire is concerned, it has no real adjacencies. It attracts fire events, and consumed by water. So some events interact with it, but really we're not worried about those. We don't have really any control of the events anyway. Yeah, and that's it. So we're just going to go straight to the large bonfire, which doubles the worker efficiency. Consumes twice the amount of wood, produces twice the amount of heat for the same amount of worker actions. Although it does technically require a watcher, which is a type of specialist. Your pips can only be trained in one specialty at a given time. Okay, I don't... Oh, a building's eating 3 wood somewhere? Something eating 3 wood. Ah, it's the turn where the toolmaker eats 3 wood. Okay, so the next turn we'll pull you off. And at some point, hopefully our stunned person will recover from being stunned. So there's the large bonfire researched. We don't need that until the season change, but we're researching it ahead of time. Cloakmaker turns clothing items into an item that provides heat for each pip living within 1 tile. So if we were wondering why I was putting my first batch of houses in like a big circle here, that provides 1 plus 1 per pip. So that would be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. There's a couple buildings. That might not be the building we put in the middle there, but there's a couple buildings that are like that, which are like, they're all based off of an adjacency on either housing buildings or pip housing or whatever. And they can be quite strong if you put them in the right spot. So preparing sort of good places to put buildings that have neighbor bonuses off of them can sometimes be very useful. Do we go for the better tool building? No, I think it is time to go for more worker housing. Feeling a little tight on the number of pops I have available for working. So we can pick up the heat buildings. We're not going to rush to grab that right now. I will build a camp. Oh, because the only place it could be built right now is there or there. That's fair enough. Take the time to tear that one down. We'll rebuild it when that one's done in 2 turns then. We're good for the event. We probably want to replant the tomato field, but that's not a rush. I'm making too much wood. Stop making wood. So I should assign you someplace else so that you're being productive. That works. Plant the field. We are on the eve of freeing up a bunch of workers. Actually, with this fear event out of the way, I think we will need a lot less workers going forward on hope generation. Yeah. And the good event we're getting here for having enough hope is what? You've somehow jerry-rigged a bunch of tools together. Okay. Six tools, surge of tools from the void. We may in fact turn the toolmaker off soon, because usually you don't need very many tools. Tools are for training people in specialty jobs. There's some construction projects you use them in as well. I feel it in my bones. The next season is coming up on us. Get ready for it. We sort of have already. We've prepped bonfires to do. Okay, we got 3 workers. Because the impending end of berry season is upon us. We're on the last berry field. which will end in 3 turns. So in 3 turns, we'll go from 4 berries being produced to 0, which is good because the season's going to end in 5. So they're all going to go poof in 5 turns anyway. Even if we hadn't harvested them, they'd be going poof. Okay. Still got 2 pips free. Put someone back on... Oh, we really don't need that much lumber. Can't build the thing there until that's done. Which that'll be done next turn. Granted, when that's done, I probably don't need this working anymore, so we're gonna get those 2 workers back to do something else. I can probably get a little bit ahead of schedule. I don't need the heating yet, but we can get a bonfire built, which is gonna take 3 turns. So we'll spend 3 turns building that. We'll get the guy back on lumber to meet the lumber needs, or to replenish the lumber that we're using. Okay. Okay. So we just researched the main housing upgrade for the town center. I see an unknown event coming. The vision's confusing, but there is hope. We can fight it. Again, whenever it says, like, unknown thing, that is a thing that if you've experienced it before, it would tell you what is coming. In our case, this is a this is a fresh start run, so we haven't experienced it on this run, so we don't know what is coming. Although if I was to do my normal run, we'd still be getting a lot of that, because I may be a little bit proactive at dealing with the bad events in this game, at least in normal difficulty, so I don't experience the bad events very much. So there's the village hall. So we're going to free up the 2 workers here. We're going to have 1 worker learn how to do that. We're going to have 1 worker upgrade the town hall. And I'm going to have 1 worker build the relaxing station next to you for that +1 hope. And then we've unlocked so following up from what we just unlocked, which is the village hall, is the town hall, so it gets even bigger. We're less worried about the roads at this point, because we built all the signposts. And it unlocks the cottage, which allows us to have the bourgeoisie. Instead of the commoners, the bourgeoisie can live in the cottages. And that specifically requires a cobblestone path to the town center, so at some point we'll have to build a cobblestone path out somewhere. Not in a rush that. We're going to start researching the hut, which is the upgrade to the cabin. Requires more wood, houses more commoners. Specifically requires leisure within some number of places, so we'll have to build a few more shared tables. Not necessarily for using. So we'll probably just throw it in the corner or something. Right, needs it within 2. So these 2 can upgrade. We'll probably throw out another shared table down here so these 2 can upgrade. I might not bother upgrading this one over here. It's just one over by itself. And this will allow us to have a bunch more pips, which of course means we need to expand food. Round around the wheel goes. More pips, more ways to solve problems, more ways to solve problems, more pips you gotta feed. Tends to be the way the game goes. Sickness. Okay. So we've already done a little bit ahead on that by having this active for a turn or so. We'll just have to reactivate that one when that starts catching up again. Everything's stable. Oh, I don't need the don't need you working for the month. Get me some water. Don't get me any cold. Staff frees up a worker. I suppose next turn we'll probably put a second person on tomato making. Yeah. There's the bonfire. The bonfire will probably provide enough heat for the early events in autumn. Okay, was smart enough not to try immediately signing someone to work the bonfire, although we do have someone who can work it. So let's get a second person on tomato harvesting. It's going to overflow us a little bit, although the town center upgrades... I'm saying town center. Town center is technically the tier 3 version of it, but the bivouac, the town village, the town center, village center, that building is one of the buildings that does the resource cap upgrades. So in 3 turns, we're gonna have more storage, more capacity to store stuff. Yeah, let's work towards Hunter's Hut. That'll allow us to hunt faster, and then we'll pick up Great Barbecue so we can cook faster. And what, 6 plus 4 plus 5? We'll be making 15 meat out of 2. It's not a much better rate. It won't be much of a better ratio, but it'll definitely be more worker efficient. Or no, start upgrading a house. And upgrade those 2 houses. Okay, so I want to get someone on you. So I took the guy off of this one, and then I clicked on here. Technically, we had the medicine man working on building the village center up, the village hall up. So what it did is it took the unemployed person to free up the specialist, so the specialist could work the specialist job. That's kind of what we wanted. But we only needed him to work there for 1 turn. We can just put him back to his previous, put him back to the that job in a turn. And here is the season change. This is where I am planning on putting the part break in as soon as we get back to our turn. So autumn has arrived. So instead of having the heat domain enabled, the cold domain is enabled. Also, the seasonal threat got a little bit worse, so we'll have to deal with a little bit more cold than we had to deal with heat. That's why we jumped straight from like the pond to the bonfire. So instead of building the tier 1, we went straight to tier 2 because we're actually probably going to want the tier 2 one. The cold domain looms. And we did finish the Hunter's Lodge. Oh, actually, we probably maybe don't need the full thing. It'll probably be a little overkill. It's fine. Overkill is sometimes preferred. We'll start on the Great Barbecue for tech-wise. And I'm going to resist playing more of the turn. We're going to do more this turn before we hit the end turn here and have the health event come up. But I think now is a good time to put a part break in. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll play through all of Autumn in the next part, which should be up for you tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I've been, honestly, without a cup of tea for an hour at this point. So it's time I go to get a cup of tea. So this will be a longer break than the previous break because I need to go get a cup of tea. That'll take however long it takes to brew a cup of tea. If you're watching on, and as I said, if you're watching on YouTube, part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'll be back as soon as the cup of tea is done. I'll try to get the ad out of the way. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.